Hello and welcome. This is Jasur from Shanghai Silk Road. In this video, I'm going to show you a process of communication here with my client for company formation in China. So the purpose of this video is to actually show you how you should communicate with your company formation agent, because in China there are a lot of agents that help people to register companies, and our company also provides this kind of service. So you can take this video as both promotional video for our own company, and also kind of a way to show how and what kind of questions you should ask to your agent. So this potential client here, she's been communicating with us for the last 2 months. Sometimes she asks some questions and we answer them, and then she makes she takes some time to think about the question, the answers, and then she comes up with new questions. So without further ado, I'm going to start the questions and show you what kind of questions are important for average customer. So number one question she's asking, because she's not located in Shanghai, she's asking, do you have an agent or do you have a branch in my city? Okay, I'm not going to talk about her city right now, but she's definitely not in Shanghai. The answer to this question is yes. We cooperate with other agencies, company formation agencies in different parts of China. So if you are, for example, located in Guangzhou or Shenzhen or Yiwu or some other parts of China, you can let us know, and we will definitely help you register a company in that city. But you have to understand one thing. Actually, we always prefer you register your company in Shanghai because we are located here. This is number one. Number two is there is no such thing as if you register a company in one place, you have to actually move there. It really depends on your personal situation. Specifically for this client, she's not interested in sponsoring herself with work visa, okay, once she registers a company, because she's a student. And in the other videos, I already mentioned several times that students can register companies in China as long as they're not getting paid from the company. Okay, if you want to get salary from your company, then of course you need to switch to the visa of your company. So in her situation, there's no requirement. For example, she registers a company in Shanghai and she can, continue her studies in the city where she's living right now. So it's pretty much, like a common situation, because we have a lot of other clients who are in the same situation. Their companies are registered in Shanghai, but they are, like, for example, employed by some company in another city. They just run the company, that's all. And the very important part is you don't get paid from your own company. In other words, you can save up that money, okay, for a future date sometime. Maybe you can switch to your own company visa later on. So that's the answer, okay. And also, another reason why we prefer Shanghai is because, we are located here, and it's easier for us to manage the company. Okay, we can serve you better here. Okay, our services, of course, our management services as well, our consultancy plus accounting services, all located in Shanghai. And also, it's much easier here, okay, to register, actually, to go through the registration process compared to other cities. And this is my personal opinion based on my 10-year experience. Now, next question is, after I register the company, should I begin paying taxes directly? The answer is no. Because there's no such thing as automatic taxes. Taxes are based on your turnover, based on your net profit. For example, when we talk about the corporate tax, when do you pay corporate tax is only from your net profit. And it also depends on the tax threshold. Actually, there is a certain number that your company should reach. Okay, for example, if the company doesn't have any turnover, then you don't have to really worry about the corporate tax. Generally speaking, you don't have to worry about corporate tax from the beginning. Okay, it's only based on the net profit and the turnover of the company. So you need to wait, actually. Okay, wait first quarter, okay, so to speak. Next type of tax should be considered is VAT. okay, VAT, value added tax. This is as well, it's based on the specific product and based on specific service, okay. For services, it is around 6%, but who pays that? Who pays VAT? Only general taxpayer status companies, okay. When you register the company, you need to actually tell us what kind of taxpayer you want to be. If it's a small scale taxpayer in China, you don't have to worry about VAT until your turnover reaches 450,000 RMB actually. So that is the tax threshold. And if it doesn't reach that, then no VAT for you, for small scale taxpayer. But for the general scale taxpayer, if you do consulting, then it's 6%. And another type of tax is for the company to consider is income tax. For example, if you employ somebody, you need to withhold income tax from their salary. Okay, just a bulk example is, for example, if you pay 18,000 to your employee, the income tax is going to be around 1,300, for example. And so yeah, this is how it works, guys. And actually there's a table of taxes for salaries, so it really depends on the amount of the salary and when it's paid. Actually, to summarize this second question, you don't have to worry about tax at all when you're registering the company, because you only pay tax, corporate tax, from net profit and based on your turnover as well, VAT based on your company's tax status, and the number 3 is when you pay salary to an employee. Okay, and it is based on the amount of the salary and when you pay it. So, and one element I need to mention is apart from tax, for example, if you employ a local person, which is a Chinese citizen, then you need to think about social security payment as well. So in Shanghai, that is around 2,000 yuan a month. Okay, so next question she's asking is, how much should I pay my employee per month? Now, this is a good question, but there's no way to answer this directly. Actually, it really depends on what kind of employee you are hiring. If it's a professional employee, then definitely you need to pay them like a market price, which is in Shanghai, which is around 10,000 yuan and up. Okay, professional with experience, etc., etc. But if it's like a starter, then you can consider between 6,000, 8,000. But again, it depends on where you are hiring that employee from. Okay, this is Shanghai I'm talking about. If you employ them, for example, from distance, the salary obviously is going to be lower than that. So you need to check, okay, those elements. Next question she's asking is, because I cannot get salary as a student right now, is it possible to save my salary? Yeah, of course. There's no such thing as, you need to withdraw, the money from the company account. So you can save it up, for how long, however long you want. And next question she's asking, how to manage it. So how do you manage your company's bank account is through USB tokens, obviously. So when you open a corporate bank account in China, and the bank is going to give you USB devices, so this is how you manage them. Okay, using an online banking, you can save up your salary or your profit basically, because you are a student. You cannot pay yourself salary, so obviously you will keep that money as profit. Okay, or you can decide to reinvest in your company or do some other projects. Basically, that company's account is for the company. Okay, it can be used for any business expenses, for project investments, or to pay up your suppliers, or to pay your employees if you hire any. So this is how you manage through internet. And next question is, if I open my first company, let's say in Guangzhou, should I pay the same amount if I want to open another one in Yiwu? Company registration, when we talk about the fees at the government, okay, that are pretty much the same. Okay, they are pretty much the same in Guangzhou, in Yiwu, or in Shenzhen when you talk about the government fees. But when we talk about the service fees that agencies charge, it highly depends. Okay, it depends on the agency type. It depends on what kind of company you are dealing with. For example, we don't charge same service fee in all regions of China. They are different. Why? Because these are different regions. Okay, every region has their own ups and downs, so to speak, their own market price. So we come from the market price of that region. That's why it's not going to be exactly the same. So when you register a company in Yiwu and you register a company in Guangzhou, there's going to be a little difference there, definitely. So both trading and consulting company, even in Shanghai, for example, when you register a trading company, it's going to be slightly different than, for example, you register a consulting company. Okay, trading company and consulting company, they are like, generally speaking, the registration process is the same, but a trading company, requires you to go to the custom office and apply for custom license, import-export license, etc., etc. There are more steps involved, and also, there's something called e-port you get from the custom office. So, next question she asks is: 2 persons can open one trading company as a manager of that company. Yeah, of course, like 2 people or more people, even 1 person can register a company in China. But, when we talk about this positions, 1 person cannot take 2 positions in one company. Okay, you can, for example, as a founder of the company, you can be a director. Or if you are 2 partners, you can actually decide who is going to be the director and who is going to be the manager of the company, aka supervisor of the company. Because in China, there are 2 positions required. One is company director, another one is supervisor. Both can be of any nationality, and both can be in or outside of China. But very important point is director should be able to travel to China for the bank account, because banks unfortunately do not open corporate bank account if director cannot go to the meeting with the bank manager and sign the papers like in person. So that's very important. If you are in China, make sure that you are the director, because you can go to the bank. And nowadays custom office and tax office, they are also requiring a personal visit from the director. So another person can take up the role of a manager of the company, supervisor. So, and she also asks, okay, yeah, if 1 person is not in China, what that person should provide as documents? Okay, actually, there's no document required except for the copy of the passport. Okay, so even if, for example, they remain as shareholder, they don't take up any position, and the only thing they should provide is the copy of the passport and sign some structural documents of the company. That's it. And how do they sign? Is just, we can email them, they print it, sign it with black paper, and then mail the signed documents in original, okay, using DHL, FedEx, etc., back to China. And if, for example, they take up some position in the company, they have to share the copy of the passport, and that's it. But for the director, for example, it's very important as well. If the director is not in China, but still they want to start the process from distance, then they need to contact the Chinese embassy or consulate, get their passport legalized, and that legalization document should be sent by post to us, okay, original. But again, still, if you are, for example, in rush, you want to register the company from distance, that is okay. We don't really recommend that, especially now, because during the pandemic, I don't think it's easy to visit China for the bank account. So even if you appoint yourself as a director from distance, we can do that, no problem. But once we finish company formation, then we need to stop the process, because you cannot come to China to open a bank account. So that's why it's very, very important that you tell us, okay, as a director of the company, are you able to go to the bank and open a corporate bank account yourself? Plus, except for the bank, you need to go to the tax office for ID verification. And of course, if it's a trading company, you need to in person go to the custom office as well. It's very important. And next question is, she's asking, so about the documents, you understood, right? It's just a copy of the passport, that's all. And last question, actually, she asks, should I manage the goods more, how should I manage the goods more easy if I'm not in the same town of my company? All right, let's assume that your company is registered in Shanghai, but you live in Nanjing, for example, and you buy some goods from Guangzhou. Okay, so three places: Shanghai, the company location, you living in Nanjing, and then Guangzhou in Guangzhou. How do you manage them? Yeah, that is a pretty logical question, but what's wrong about the question is many people automatically assume that if they, for example, export from Guangzhou, or they buy products from Yiwu and trade with the merchants there, they automatically think that they have to be physically located in that city. No, actually that is completely wrong. If you browse through our videos on YouTube, on our channel, actually, you can find our interview with our existing client. He's exactly in the same situation. He lives in Nanjing, his company is in Shanghai, and he's a bestseller on Amazon, for example. He's been exporting containers and containers of products from China. The answer is very easy, actually. It's through internet, guys. I mean, nowadays, you don't have to really be located in the same place where your company is or where the factory is. Why? Because we have WeChat on the phone. We have internet, okay, WhatsApp, etc., etc. But in China, when you talk to the factories, it's WeChat, okay? You talk to them on WeChat, or you just call them. That's it. And to actually, process the export, so we can link you up with some logistics companies in Guangzhou, based on your request. Actually, if you need logistics company in Guangzhou, we can link you with them. We can put you in contact. But actually, even logistics doesn't have to be in Guangzhou, because in Shanghai, for example, I know several logistics companies that operate globally. Okay, they're based in Shanghai, but they can pick up your goods from Guangzhou and then they can send it from Guangzhou port, because everything is done from distance, through communication, through WeChat, or through communication through, on the phone, and everything is arranged. When I talked about the e-port, actually, what you get from custom office, this is what I meant, E-port is USB device that is given to import and export companies by customs office. So that e-port actually controls the import and export process online. So for example, your goods are in Guangzhou, again, you are in Nanjing, you just plug that in to your laptop, that e-port, and you can sign agreements with all the ports around China using that e-port. That's it. And you can actually process some documents, import and export documents, on that same website as well. So that assumption, physically being located in the place where the goods are, or where the company is actually completely wrong. Okay, so nowadays is actually everything is digitized, everything is through the internet, so you don't have to really worry about it. What you have to worry about is actually the place of registration, where it's easy to control, easy to register, start with, and lower taxes, for example, because not everywhere you have the same taxes, tax rates. Sometimes in places taxes are high, sometimes in some places taxes are very low. For example, in Shanghai, very favorable rates. Okay, so this is my answer, guys. When you're, for example, registering your company in China, make sure you ask these logical questions to your agent. And if you need any assistance with company formation in China, welcome to contact us. We will be happy to hear you out and discuss all the questions you might have and give you all the practical answers. Thanks for watching, and this is Jasur again from Shanghai Silk Road. You can leave your questions in the comment section below or send us an email, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.